Robert loved mountain climbing. One day, he and 4 friends decided to tackle a remote, rarely visited mountain. At first, everything went smoothly. The weather was clear, and the group made good progress. But by midday, things took a turn for the worse. Dark clouds rolled in, lightning flashed across the sky, and rain poured down in torrents. The trails became slippery and treacherous, and visibility dropped to almost nothing. As they ventured deeper into the wilderness, they realized they had lost their way. There was no phone signal, and the mountains seemed endless. As the rain continued to hammer down and darkness crept in, the group grew desperate to find a way back to the base before nightfall. Then tragedy struck. One of Robert's friends, David, lost his footing on the slippery trail. With a terrified scream, he fell into the abyss below. The remaining 4 stood frozen in shock, helpless against the storm, grief and fear gripping them. They had no choice but to keep moving, hoping to survive the night and make it down the mountain. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, they stumbled upon an old, abandoned hunter's cabin. It stood alone in the storm, battered by the wind and rain. Inside, they found a single, empty room, no furniture, no tools, just 4 walls. Exhausted, freezing, and drenched to the bone, they decided to spend the night there and search for the trail again at first light. The night was long. Outside, the storm raged on, lightning illuminating the cracks in the worn walls. Inside, the room was pitch black. They had lost all their fire-starting tools during the day's chaos, leaving them cold, hungry, and terrified. To keep warm and distract themselves from the fear, someone suggested a game. Each person would stand in one corner of the room, and they would take turns walking to the next corner to tap another person. It was a silly, mindless way to pass the time, but it helped. They continued the game, round after round, until the first rays of sunlight broke through the storm. The rain had stopped. The group was alive and relieved. They laughed nervously, grateful to have survived the night. But as they prepared to leave, Robert lingered at the doorway, gazing back into the empty room. A strange, gnawing unease settled over him, though he couldn't quite put his finger on why.
Something about the night. Something felt terribly wrong.